Thunder rolled across the sky like an angry drum. Aminata knelt beside a small grave, her hands stained with the red earth that swallowed her third child. The villagers stood behind her, whispering, "The ancestors are angry," said Elder Obari. She has defied the old ways. Aminata lifted her face to the storm. "Then let the ancestors come for me," she cried, "for I have no tears left to give." The wind roared and the last flame in the village went out. Before dawn, she walked alone to the sacred river. Mist hung like breath on the water. Aminata knelt and cut her palm, letting her blood fall into the current. "No spirit will take what my body has carried," she swore. "This child will live." The water stilled. Then, against nature, the current flowed backward. A voice rose from the depths, calm, ancient and cold. "If you defy us, woman, you defy your blood." Aminata stepped back, trembling, but she did not take her words back. The weeks that followed were cruel. The rains vanished, the wells dried, and the goats birthed stillborn young. The villagers gathered in the square, pointing at Aminata's house. "She has angered the river," they shouted. Even the children avoided her path. That night, as she sat alone, a ragged old man appeared at her doorway. "I am the seer of Wandara," he said softly, "and I know the truth your people have forgotten." By the fire's dim light, the seer spoke. "Long ago, your foremothers were offered to the spirits so that men might keep their thrones. Their cries built the curse you now carry. Every daughter born from their blood pays for their silence." Aminata's eyes burned. "So, the curse is not from the gods?" The seer shook his head. "It is from the injustice buried in your own name. To end it, you must walk where the dead do not sleep, the forest of whispers." The forest breathed like a living thing. Its trees murmured in voices she almost knew. She followed the path of bones until the mist grew thick as cloth. Then she heard it, her mother's voice. "Aminata." She turned, and there stood her mother, eyes glowing with sorrow. "My daughter, the living forget that even ancestors can be wrong." Aminata fell to her knees as the spirits gathered around her, silent and watching. In a circle of pale fire, the ancestors appeared, proud faces made of smoke and flame. "You dare question our will?" thundered one. "You broke the chain that bound your blood to obedience." Aminata's voice did not tremble. "I seek justice, not rebellion. Why must mothers bury their children for your pride?" The ground shook. "Silence!" they roared, but she stood firm, shouting back, "If you are just, then judge me by love, not fear." The earth split beneath her feet, swallowing her into darkness. She awoke in a world of light and water, a river that reflected memories. There she saw her foremothers, chained in sorrow, their songs turned to screams. They reached toward her. "Free us, Aminata. Forgive them and we will rest." She wept, realizing that her anger had kept them bound as much as their pain. She whispered, "I forgive, not for them, but for the daughters yet to come." The river began to glow like dawn. In the world above, the forest burned. The villagers led by Elder Obari dragged Aminata's lifeless body to the river. "Let this sacrifice bring rain," he cried. But as the knife was raised, lightning split the sky. A voice thundered, "You offer the innocent for your fear and call it faith." The blade shattered. The river boiled. Aminata rose from the water, alive, her eyes bright as the moon. She stepped onto the riverbank and spoke. No mother's tears will feed the gods again. Let love be our offering. The storm exploded. Rain poured for the first time in a year. The ancestors' voices echoed through the thunder. She has seen the truth we hid. The curse is broken. The villagers fell to their knees, their fear washing away with the rain. Days later, Aminata was found asleep by the river, a newborn child in her arms. Elder Obari, now humbled, placed his staff before her. We judged you by fear. You judged us by love. May your courage guide our sons and daughters. She smiled through tears. The ancestors live through us, but when fear becomes their voice, we must speak louder. And from that day, mothers were no longer called cursed, they were called keepers of courage. True faith is not blind obedience. The ancestors live in our hearts, but it is love that keeps their memory pure. When fear rules faith, even the brave must challenge tradition.